welcome to the Varside Pubcast. This evening, we're joined by Lee. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, thank you. Just, getting used to the idea that Conte is the new Messiah.
The new Messiah.
Hmm.
Interesting. Very religious. What's the thinking behind that?
Well, because he's going to lead us to the promised land.
Okay, good. We're also joined by Rich. How you doing, mate?
Hi, how you doing?
Nice to have you on board.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah,
you'll come to regret this quite quickly, I'm sure.
Yeah, maybe, but maybe you will as well. Okay, so we had one game at the weekend, which was obviously the North London derby against Arsenal, but I didn't watch it. I don't know whether you guys did. I know Sarah did, so I was hoping she'd be here to give us a bit of a lowdown on it. But did you guys see it at all?
No, I didn't.
No.
I kind of sometimes watch women's football. I don't watch enough of it, I'm afraid to say. That's nothing against women. I'm just, I'm not misogynist or anything. I just don't really find as much time to watch women's football as perhaps I should.
That's right. It's the time, isn't it? At the end of the day,
yeah. I can't say I saw it either, but largely because there was no match of the day on for men's football. I normally just watch that and then watch the women's game after it, and I never even thought to put it on for some reason. I thought there wouldn't be any football.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Yeah, no, I totally get what you mean. It's a bit of a shame, really, because I think women's football, a bit like non-league football, I think the whole kind of vibe with it is quite upbeat compared to the Premier League game, where in the Premier League game you get a lot of cheating and rolling around and abusing the ref and what have you, whereas it just seems a bit more chilled with the women's game, which I quite like. But,
I don't mind a bit of rolling around and a bit of cheating. I'm not talking about on my missus or anything like that. I'm just, but I just feel
it's
like,
good to share that with us.
Yeah. But just, just a bit of hardcore shit is quite good every now and then.
Yeah, I get what you mean there. Good. So, do we have any points that we wanted to touch on? Because I see that you got loads of points, Lee, but I'm not entirely sure whether these were covered previously or whether you wanted to cover them tonight.
Well, I'll have a go at covering them tonight if that's okay. And if they were mentioned previously, then you can tell me to shut up.
Well, I won't know because I wasn't on the other one.
Oh, right. Okay.
So,
me neither.
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah. Radio. Good. So, did you want to go ahead?
I mean, did you want to sort of cover off the previous game as well, the Everton game, or do you just want to just get stuck straight into how things are going?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can cover that off. I didn't actually watch it live, so I think I saw some highlights. You saw it live though, did you?
Well, I saw it live on TV. But all I mean briefly to talk about it, because I know we probably will focus more on what's going on at the moment at the club. I just thought I could see, from my point of view, much more of what he was trying to achieve. Whereas before, and not trying to be sort of revisionist over things with Nuno, it was quite difficult under him to sort of see quite what we were trying to do, and we were hoping, I suppose, to give him a bit of rope to say, right, well, once he gets the players he needs and once he gets his feet under the table. But quite quickly, actually, even though I know the last game we didn't have any shots on target, I thought I could see what the plan was. It was moving the ball quicker, one-touch passing, and hitting the ball to the flanks, and that looked like quite a clear strategy. So it filled me with a bit of hope because I could actually see what we were trying to do.
Yeah, sure. What about you, Rich? Did you see it at all?
Yeah, I watched it, and very similar. I think my overarching feeling that I took from the game was that I felt a lot more confident in us as a team even if as Lee sort of touched upon, you could see a bit more of a plan or a bit more coherence in the play. But the most striking thing for me was that we just looked less like a circus at the back. And although obviously Everton were without some key forward players,
true.
Apart from that sort of 5 or 10 minutes around the penalty decision, I thought that we probably could have played all afternoon and not let a goal in.
Okay.
Or scored.
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah. Well, this is the other thing, isn't it? We haven't. By the way, hi Sarah. How are you?
Hi. Sorry, guys.
Sarah.
Good to see you.
You started on time for a change, by the way.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah. But yeah, that was the other thing, really. We haven't had another shot on target for, is it 227 minutes now? We haven't had a shot on target.
Yeah, I've heard somewhere else that's like about half of Bob Dylan's catalogue or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, I think that's slightly unfair because we did hit the woodwork at one point, which is quite close to being on target.
I always think that is on target, actually.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. Yeah. And also, I think in the highlights, I saw that we did have some shots on target, but because they hit the defender or blocked further out, they're not actually officially on target. So,
but also that game made you feel that it's just a matter. I can see what's going on here. There's the final ball isn't quite there yet. That just needs a little bit of work in, and I think it will open up quite a bit. It does look promising.
Yeah, we do seem to be moving the ball around a lot quicker, as you say, and that obviously has to help because you're pulling defenders in and out. So that's obviously got to be a positive. Did you see the Everton game, Sarah?
I did. Parts of it, because Sky Sports wasn't always up and running. Sarcasm there. My link was terrible, so I kept losing it. But I thought it was positive in the sense of I actually felt like we could score, whereas normally I watch and I think, oh God, where's this goal coming from? I felt like there was distinct patterns of play that they were trying to do and trying to create. And, we all know that once the other 9 players on the pitch find their rhythm, that Harry's going to have no problem putting them away or Sonny for that matter. I just think we haven't been creating the best chances for him.
The other thing is that after that game, it was quite pointed that Conte looked very pleased. And I think one of the reasons he seemed to be quite pleased with it was because even though it wasn't the greatest of games, the players were really resolute. And I think he'd been beasting them a lot. So the fact that they had been kind of really, trained very hard, even like post game, they did like an hour's training as a warm down. I think what he's looking for is how much are they willing to, put to the cause. They looked at times a little bit leggy, but I think possibly he's trying to get that fitness. He's trying to get their weight down. We've heard all about these. You can't have any ketchup or mayonnaise, whatever it is. But that in itself is going to take a toll, right, in terms of their stamina. And the fact that they were put everything out there, I think that's what he's pleased at. The game, wasn't the greatest of games, of course, but what he's looking for is how much are they willing to put themselves on the line in terms of their, they must be exhausted. And they did, they, like Rich was saying, really, there weren't really many points that you thought, we're all over the shop here. We were pretty resolute overall.
They clearly wanted to play for him, didn't they? Which is what we all knew the problem was for Nuno. I'm sure he's a nice enough guy or whatever else, but he didn't inspire any of us. So how is he going to inspire professional footballers? And no disrespect there, but that's just, I think, what it was.
But really. Surely, and I think this has already been mentioned by various people, but surely Nuno coming in for an 18-month, 2-year contract didn't really help matters at all there, did it? Because we all knew he was the guy to be, he was a patsy for the whole setup. And
but then
how can the players buy into that?
Similar with Conte at the moment. I know there's a year extension potentially if they want to take it, but there's a very, very different kind of mindset to this, isn't there? That they probably feel now that if they do their part, they can be part of him having another year. whereas I don't suppose that, under Nuno, that they really thought that they wanted him to have any more than 18 months at the best.
Well, I think that's the difference, isn't it? I mean, with Conte, everybody loves it because he's here. They know he's a winner. With Nuno, you don't know whether he's a winner. So he's a total gamble. What
about your theory, Andy? That actually he was meant to just come in just to keep the ship going until Conte was available.
Yeah, I do get the feeling something like that happened. When he brought Paratici in, it was soon after that we went for Conte. Because I think originally they wanted Poch, which to me actually smells a really bad strategy anyway. It's like, just get the guy back who, was successful with us. And they probably wanted to go and get Conte, but Conte, for whatever reason,
wasn't ready mentally.
It didn't happen. Well, I don't know what the reasons were, but it didn't happen. And I don't know whether that was related to Kane, actually, whether he thought Kane was going to leave and he thought, well, why join Spurs without Kane? It'd be much better to join him with Kane, maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
Well, I mean, there's no way. I mean, surely, and that if they were going to sack Nuno, that they phoned him that afternoon. I mean, that's been in the works for a while. That surely.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's got all of the hallmarks of being a done deal, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's a bit like the Mourinho one, where they tried to make out that Mourinho just turned up the next morning, and but that had been going on for weeks, obviously. I just think it was really badly dealt with. The club have just been dealing with things pretty badly, full stop, I think. But maybe they've they've done the right thing here. Who can tell? At the moment, I think we're all feeling quite positive. But when we get to the transfer window, what's the outcome going to be when Levy, pulls his rabbit out of the hat and tells Conte that you can get Ryan Mason, not Ryan Mason, Brian, whatever his name.
Ryan Mason.
Yeah, Ryan Mason. Yeah, whoever he bought for Harry Redknapp at that time in the January transfer window.
Ryan Nelson.
Ryan Nelson.
Thank you. Yeah.
That is not going to fly. Actually, have you seen the thing recently? A few people have tweeted it out. Is it? I don't know if it's Deloitte or something like that, where they mentioned that all the clubs that can spend how much they can spend before they fall foul of FFP, and ours is 400 million.
Yeah,
400 million.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
I think Kieran Maguire tweeted that, didn't he? The finance guy. But
so that's an overhaul amount in itself. But I can easily see us spending that, can't you, in January?
Oh, yeah.
Over January and
no
summer,
problem.
I think.
We might even go over budget. What do you think? Yeah.
I think the other thing as well, to be fair to them a little bit, is that possibly for the first time, if we've got that money that we can just shell out, without any hindrances or without the famous having to sell first, that for the first time we've actually got a manager who somebody might want to sign for, because, with the possible exception of, at the very start, Jose's reign, when he was a new man and he'd had this reflective 18 months meditating in his back garden or whatever he was supposed to have been doing, that he sort of fooled everybody for a couple of weeks. There was that window of opportunity that, he might have drawn some players in. But, before that, as much as I love Pochettino, he wasn't a stellar manager to attract the big names, was he? He was still a project man. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This might be the defining change now.
I think you're right, Rich, and that's one of the most exciting things about this appointment, is that this is not somebody who's either in the tail end of their career or people are questioning their career. He seems on the ascendancy. So for the first time in a long, long time, we've got a manager who is one of the elite managers, who's not on,